traders, and I want to start with the euro yen for this weekend video. Been a fantastic chart, huge trending chart since November, and here we are. We're pretty much trapped in this range at the moment. A couple of things to note: we've got a very quiet week on the data front, and we've got options expiry on Friday. Options expiry is going to mean we will probably see some good moves on Monday, Tuesday, and a settling down of the markets until the options expire on the Friday. It doesn't always go like that, but that's what generally happens. Now my guess is, and it's nothing more than a guess at the moment, is that the options expiry on the euro yen, which has been really sort of leading the market at the moment, is going to be this 125 level. So if I'm right, what I'm expecting is a retest of this monthly pivot here, and possibly lower to retest this level here, and then a spring. So we might, under this reversal bar, we might have a couple of days down, looking for either this area here to hold or this area here to hold, and then a spring back to R1 and 125. Okay, this has been by far the best chart that I can see out there as far as Forex is concerned. So that is my plan. Just do nothing until I see these levels, and if I can see these levels holding, then I will come in and look for 125. Of course, if this really continues this bullish trend, then we could be looking for a move back to this resistance, and possibly even pull back and go. Okay, but at the moment I'm just looking for a pullback for this area and to go around in this target area for the moment. Okay, but if we look at the weekly, I am very bullish. I see this. You can see why we come off 12780, because that's major resistance. So the next area here to come off is 13430. But yeah, we had a good weekly close. We engulfed last week's price action, so it's very bullish, and pull back to that area there is most likely. 123 is a key level, and 12240 is the monthly pivot. Pound yen is also doing well. This is the weekly 200 EMA down here. Likewise, a good pullback area for the pound yen is 142. Just on it to retest this weekly hammer, but I prefer the excuse me, I'm just writing a note for myself. I prefer the euro yen. Okay, if we go into detail about the pound US dollar, this is the weekly chart, and you can see the major support down here is 142. We have got extreme RSI down here. If you look to 2008, I do apologise for that little burp there. You can stay oversold for some time. However, I think a pullback to, obviously the obvious point is 150. We closed at 14925 on Friday, but 150 is the obvious pullback area for that. But it doesn't leave you, the risk-reward ratio is terrible. It's not great at all. And any close above 150 on early part of the week could lead us to a pullback. So I'm just happier trading the the M pairs are much, to me, cleaner and easier to predict. This is a potential reversal bar under the weekly 50 EMA. Weekly 50 EMA is there, 13070. So I think if we drop out of this weekly bar here, I think we could be coming down to at least 12675, if not lower. Let's look at the daily on the Euro US. Didn't quite engulf Thursday's bullish bar, but just hanging on to 130 narrowly. But you know, pull back to 130, 50 to 70 area. Could see that come down to S1. These are monthly pivots, by the way. And none of the other pound pairs interest me. If we look at the dollar pairs now, US dollar yen, that's a really bullish chart. Very bullish chart. Hats off to the member who called that early in the week, because that was bang on. And on the weekly chart, very bullish. So pull back to 94.30. If we see it retest the weekly hammer, would be a great place to get in. There is a weekly pivot. There's an R1 at 94.60, which is not that far off Friday's 96. Otherwise, we've got Aussie job figures later in the week, predicted to be weak. We are under this trend line here. Excuse me. Daily is tough to call, so I'm leaving the Aussie US and just concentrating on the Euro Yen. But that Euro Yen is really giving a lift to the markets. So you know the weakness in the yen is seeing a lot of the appetite for risk is firmly in the market, and huge weekly close off on this Dow. So on the daily Dow, I think we need to pull back to this R1, 14,200. Incidentally, on Tuesday, if you look at this chart here, I'm going to explain why my fibs are on here, which caught this short on Friday. So Tuesday morning, Tuesday open of the Dow, I will open the room up. You're all invited to be in there. I'll explain where this fib level came from and why I shorted down here and why I did buy this to this fib level. Okay, so I wasn't around for long. I didn't want to open the Skype room up because the volatility on a day like Friday was extreme, and I didn't feel that unless I had time to prepare everybody, I didn't want to get everybody involved in that kind of volatility. But I will do that on Tuesday when hopefully it's a little calmer and we will have time to plan that move, or any kind of move that the market presents us. And I'll talk about, like I said, I'll talk about the setup for that and the planning that goes into that setup, which is of course the most important. Right, back to the daily charts. Oil. I think oil is going to go to 92.76, possibly that monthly pivot at 93.80. At which point I think this oil could roll over to the downside. I think this, we're under this trend line here. We had a lower high in this January. We couldn't get up to September's high at $150. $100.50. I think this oil is, it's a very thin chart here. This is not the kind of oil that I've been used to in the past. In 07, 08 I was trading next to nothing apart from oil at one stage, because oil was just so clean and bullish, gave such sweet moves. I've long since stopped focusing on oil to that extent. And so I think oil will get to 92.80, possibly 93.80, and then that's it. Excuse me. At which point I would see it returning to possibly, if we get the setup, that is, if we crash into 95 or this 93, 94 area here, I think we might get back to 84, and possibly even right down here to these fib levels down here. But short to medium term, I would look for this directly. Yeah, this is coming off the bottom of the fib zone. It's coming off monthly S1, and the monthly pivot is up there, and that's what I'm looking for. Gold is massive support down here at 1555, but I just don't trust it. I think if we do hit 1600, we could just roll over. The weekly chart is bearish, and I think if we break 1550, I can see us coming down to possibly 1300 at this rate. But not looking to trade oil at the moment. Right, switching away from the main key indicators and forex market and going on to the commodity market. I like corn. I like corn a lot here, and a pullback to 69.70. I'm not sure we're going to get it, but a pullback to 69.70 on the corn is great, and the cocoa. This is a great time of the year for some of these what they call softs, and the cocoa is fantastic. That's brilliant. If we get a pullback to 20.85, I would look for that to get back to possibly, I mean, over a period of time, so you have to buy a contract for this if you're going to trade this, 23.85. Obviously Easter is not far off. Actually, Easter at this point is irrelevant because the contracts that were affected by Easter were back down here, so scrub that. But I do think this is very bullish. Soybeans is okay, but and I think the corn is better. Okay, Traders Roundtable. I will be talking about my day trade plan and the key pivots for the week. So I do hope you can join me for the Traders Roundtable on Monday at 7 o'clock GMT. And finally, don't forget the US hour. US have put their clocks forward. Okay, so the US will now open at 1:30, not 2:30. That's the Dow. The Dow will now open at 1:30, not 2:30. Please remember that. Okay, enjoy what's left of your weekend, and I very much look forward to seeing you soon.